G'day beautiful people, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a build for that super viable caster, Iggy and Scorch. Now of course when I say super viable caster, I am absolutely taking the piss. He can do very well in the right hands, but more often than not, he ends up feeding the team, stealing kills, and generally being absolutely useless either because he doesn't understand how to set up his turrets for the correct engagements, i.e. setting up before Prime or setting up before Fangtooth, or he does know how to set them up and his team is too dumb to fight in them. But nonetheless, make a build for him. Now, we only have 4 cards on because I thought we'd do this a little bit different. Now, this is my full build, these 3 cards here. Growth Totem, get it on as quickly as humanly possible, build up his health pool. Then we have Apex Predator, 7 cost intellect card. It's going to give you 13 power, which we do not care about. A lot of people I see playing Iggy, they actually run knowledge and they build as much power as possible and 10% increased ability damage. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's useless because the only thing you're really going to increase the damage on that's worthwhile is his ultimate. You can make the argument that you get it quite often, but in general, increasing his ability damage is generally spread over a certain amount of time. Like his turrets only do, I think at max level, about 80 damage. So if you're increasing them by 10%, you're only adding 8.4 damage per shot. You know, it's all negligible and it's not even worthwhile. However, we do have Malik Nasher on this build. We'll talk about that in a second. So Apex Predator we're taking for the fact that it has ability armor. And then when we get 30 hits on enemy heroes with their abilities, we will obviously will have more power, but who cares? But at max stats we'll gain another 18 ability armor, right? And then we're going to move on to Unbroken Spirit if the enemy team has a lot of crowd control. It's going to give you another 30 armor. We're going to have 30 basic armor starting off the game. We're going to have another 36 here, that'll take us to 66. Then we're going to get 30 off of this, that's going to take us to 96. And I think by going through intellect and getting to level 13, I think you get another 12. So you're going to end up over 100 ability armor, so you're going to receive 50% less ability damage through this build. However, if there's not a lot of crowd control, I would probably go for Malik Nasher. You're going to have a decent amount of sustain, or survivability I should say, with the armor you're getting from Apex Predator, your base armor, and the health from Growth Totem. So you could definitely go for Malik Nasher instead of Unbroken Spirit if there isn't any CC on the enemy team. Having said that though, you could, if you wanted to, you know, go for something like a Godmother Vigilant, or another good one would actually be to go for Form of Grubbish, because you're going to get more health and you're going to get more max mana, which is something that he struggles with a lot. He only ends up with 710 mana at max level. Now, as far as fleshing out the build goes, we've got Order. We're on a very low, excuse me, very low maneuverability hero, so we don't have any engages or disengages, so we want to have just chuck wards on. Why not? If you are one of those people that for some reason run Iggy as a sport, chuck Chanting Shaman on. I tend to chuck on Coinmaster, Exoskeleton, Highwayman, just on my Iggy builds. Either start off with Exoskeleton if you go in mid lane, or start off with Highwayman if you are confident that you can get the poke off. Then I would suggest that Greenspring is a good idea to take, just in case. From there, we have the next card that I would suggest to take is Stagnant Dominion, but keep in mind, right, this applies a 30% movement speed slow. Your ultimate at level 3 will apply a 30% movement speed slow anyway. I think it's 22% at level 2 and like 10 or 12 at level 1, so this is doing you favors all the time when you're not ulting. It's doing you favors when you're ulting unless you have level 3. Another thing you can consider taking is Yomi Spectre. If you have a Wraith or you have an Invis Countess, Aurora, or a Kalari, you can get this to proc by throwing a Molotov, which is quite a big radius, so it's easy to actually find people. That'll reduce their ability armor and you'll gain true vision, meaning you can see them while they are invis. So you can consider taking that as well. Also, Vital Waters is another good shout. But apart from that, it's really up to you. I just recommend getting Growth Totem as early as humanly possible. Build that health pool up, because he's a bit of a worry, this boy. But I'm going to throw Form of Rubbish on and a bit of Yummy Spectre, just in case. As far as gems go, in Vitality I have Healing Towers and Damage Reduction. In Intellect, I actually go for Auto Mana Potion here, but you can definitely make an argument for taking Onslaught to reduce the cooldowns of his ultimate and his turrets. We go for Deadly Mana at level 7. We go for Mana Fountain at level 13, because like I said, he has mana issues. You think about it this way, without you adding more mana, he will end up at 710 mana. If you use 4 turrets, a Molotov and an ult, that's 500 odd mana gone. So that's, you know, that's a huge chunky mana pool. Then at level 19 we go for Spell Shield, and that is it. So I call this tanky in Scorch, quote unquote tanky. It is only going to be tanky for ability damage. Keep that in mind, guys. If you want to build a well-rounded tank on Iggy, good luck. Maybe chuck some Chaos armor cards in, but I wouldn't recommend it going 1-to-1 with anyone doing basic attacks, because it's not going to go too well all the time. But this will do well. I would recommend getting Growth Totem as early as humanly possible, and Apex Predator as early as humanly possible. As soon as you can get this stacked up, you are going to take so much less damage from the enemy's abilities, which means you're going to be doing better than them. But if you do try this build, guys, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, guys. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Love you first, catch you in the next one. Peace.